destroyer. Like, bro, just come in with a binder full of information to destroy all the narratives. You got CNN and like ABC dudes shaking in their boots, like, oh no, not him. All right. But let's get into my man James O'Keefe, and then we're gonna get into the Epstein situation, and I'll be right back. Whoops. Fast forward. Back.
Protests, reporting on what is happening and undercover. But we're here outside the City Hall, and we have been undercover inside the ICE protests, reporting on what is happening and who is behind them, looking at the different tables outside of City Hall. We even paid a visit to Skid Row downtown. They're having loud horns, loud noises so that they can disrupt anyone trying to communicate with each other. What we've uncovered out here is so scandalous, elaborate, and illegal that it's going to be a multiple-part series. I myself went undercover as a homeless person, reporting on the NGOs, reporting on what is happening all throughout the city of Los Angeles and Southern California. Stay tuned for that next week. Over the last few months, I've said that if arrests do not happen, if people are not held to account, then we'll have no choice but to investigate the investigators themselves, investigate the prosecutors themselves at every level.
And that's exactly what this man did.
We understand that incentives govern human behavior more than virtue does, and people are demanding that people be held accountable. People are reminding you that we're a nation of laws. But that only works if the people in government, if the people in power do the right thing. What we found out in Minnesota last week was that there was no laws, no incentive for law enforcement officers to do the right thing at all. In fact, the police left the area because it would be punishing for them to uphold the law. And we find that happening at every single level in our country, that there is no reward in holding anybody accountable. So now the question is, what will it take to get accountability and arrests? And we believe that what it will take is oversight, watching the watchmen, or in Latin, quis custodiae ipsos custodes, who guards the guardsmen? Where is the Department of Justice? Where is the federal government? And why aren't they doing their jobs? What is actually going on in the nation's capital? We decided to take a look. Now, there's what they say on the record, and there's what they say when no one is looking.
He's like a diva. Is that true? 110% he's a diva. Are you serious? 110%. Wow. He's lazy as hell. He's not good at his job. So you don't think there's going to be any major arrests with Kash Patel or the FBI? No. Also, I don't think anybody would ever go to prison.
Our investigation led us to an FBI security specialist who, on hidden camera, this FBI security specialist tells us the quiet part out loud. And as I do this report, the protesters are filtering into Los Angeles, one of them yelling at me to stop lying. I question any of them to actually tell me what I am lying about. We literally see their lips moving in our undercover reports.
I am a security specialist at the FBI. I've been working there for 5 years now. I was under Biden first.
Now, when you watch this man is either a Biden holdover speaking out of turn, or he is telling the truth, describing a system that walks out investigations for years past the point where the president is in power. What this official inside the FBI says is very troubling and potentially revealing about how the Department of Justice actually operates. People are more honest when they don't know they're being recorded. And that's not all. This same FBI official we caught on tape admits that even under Kash Patel, there will be no arrests of people in the deep state in the near future. Not exactly surprising considering the lack of action we've seen so far.
Do you think your job, the FBI, do you think they're going to arrest the people that are dealing with the daycare stuff?
The thing with those cases is that I think by the time that case is done, even being looked at, being ready to go to court, Trump won't even be in office anymore.
Really?
Fraud cases like that, money stuff?
Yeah.
Years, literal years of time.
You don't think the FBI would arrest them, even though Trump would be please arrest them?
I don't think so. because over and over and over again, he's been shown it doesn't work. It's not working.
And all right, guys, I'm back. And shout out, and I'm back with the co-host Monty. And shout out to my man Gaming. How's it going, guys?
Yo, what's the word, boy?
Man, it's all good. So, bro, apparently, as you've been watching this video, they do not like Kash Patel too much, and we are not about to get no deep state arrest.
I
said that a long time ago.
So me and Monty are on the same page. I'm gonna go and take it a step further. Everybody that's been saying that ain't no arrest gonna come out of the Epstein files, and people are like, "What are you talking about? Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, and this person was arrested." Blah, 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 blah. No, we're saying
they're the scapegoat.
Right, we're saying it because we know there's not gonna be any justice. It's not a talking point, and this I hate to go off on this tangent, but said I'm addressing some other YouTubers out there and people that are out there on Instagram reels and saying stupid stuff like this. This goes directly to y'all, and I'm more than happy to challenge me on my channel on this. Like, you got an FBI official right here that just said it plain as day. When it comes to money laundering and fraud and stuff, bro, ain't nobody finna get arrested. You see what happened with old boy in the crypto scandal. He went to jail for 3-4 months. Like, come on, bro.
Not to mention, he said the quiet part out loud. By the time they can get any of this stuff to trial, Trump's not going to be president anymore.
Right.
And that's code for we're not going to do anything once Trump gets out.
Man.
And it's like, bro, come on, dude. Let's keep it let's call a spade, bro. If you are rich in this country, you are untouchable. Enforceable by fine means legal for a price.
Well, I mean, if you're a billionaire, yeah, never mind.
The millionaires be getting
rich with influence, because I don't know. I don't think it's just if you're just rich. It got to be rich with influence.
No,
it has to be with influence, or it don't mean nothing.
No,
a fine for anybody. Seth, a fine for anybody. A speeding ticket just means it's legal for a price.
Pretty much. A fine for not having insurance is legal for a price. You can roll around with no insurance, but you're gonna have to pay some money to do it.
Wait, hold on. Aren't they gonna suspend your license eventually, though? If you keep getting caught without insurance.
Maybe.
But you're missing the point of what I'm saying, though.
No, I get what you're saying, but unless we're talking about a guy who's riding around with no insurance, who's a millionaire, who's head guy at the BMV. Like I say, they gotta have that status, and there gotta be some position of high power that they're holding.
Just can't be like this. You're not supposed to take people's land, especially when they're dying. That's actually a rule on the book. Katy Perry currently right now is taking an old veteran to court because she wants his house and his land, and she's dragging it out and has been doing it. Ain't nobody stepping in. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Where's his justice? You really think that the hard-working Americans in Minneapolis, Minnesota are finna get their justice after all these riots? Look at what happened with St. Louis. Them fat, ugly lesbians done caused the basically ransacking and rampaging of St. Louis and all these other cities, drained the wealth out of them, killed people in their wake, and stripped away all the jobs. Where's our justice? My point exactly. But there is none.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give you that one. There is no justice in that case right there. But
no, there's no justice. There's no justice in the case if you have, even a couple million. There are tons of money laundering scams. And think about it like this: money laundering is so unjustly let go in the federal court system. The movie Wolf of Wall Street, which is a documentary about a guy's life. Yes, it's hilarious. And Leonardo DiCaprio, even though he's in the Epstein files, played it beautifully. But it was a documentary. And it basically showcased just how much BS you can legitimately get away with.
And he wasn't famous.
Right.
But he had power.
No, and you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about Wolf of Wall Street?
He had money.
Hold on. No. Listen, y'all, this is going to shock both of you all's minds. The Wolf of Wall Street was funded by the same exact level of money laundering, just on a different continent. I'm not joking. That's why Leonardo DiCaprio was being investigated by the FBI after the movie.
I don't know. Like I said, I think it has to do something with your status and like your ranking in society. Because, like I said, you being rich is not enough to keep you away from the law. If you're not with the right group of rich people, you're fair game.
You had me fooled.
Can I say not every guy? Oh, come on now. Now, if you said almost every billionaire, I'd be like, all right, I can give you that one. But not.
That goes without saying. Every billionaire.
Yeah.
Name somebody who's rich, who has faced the same consequences as me and you would.
Wesley Snipes.
That's different, bro. That's different.
I mean, come on. Now there's celebrities that get arrested like all the time for stuff that me and you would do.
Yeah,
but what consequences? What consequences did Wesley Snipes get?
He got some years in jail.
Huh?
He got some years in jail, didn't he? Some years.
Yeah, for what?
For tax evasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a normal punishment. Some years in jail is a normal punishment for tax evasion. It's a white collar crime.
And he didn't even go actually. He didn't even go to like a regular jail that you and I would go to if we did tax evasion. That boy went to the lap of luxury. It's been
he went to that nice jail for the celebrity.
Right. It's been well known that if you have a certain amount of money, you don't get put in. I mean, minus.
Well, now you will, but it's your status. Remember, Wesley Snipes is a movie star. He's highly notable. It's a little different.
Well, so is Baby Oil.
Regular population, bro. There's people that are millionaires that you'll never hear about.
So is Baby Oil Combs, but he was doing some heinous stuff. So yeah, they had to give him in the big house.
Yeah, but even then, they might show him some grace. But, hold on, guys.
Man, what are you doing, Seth?
I don't think anybody would ever go to prison. Like, they would most likely be thrown out very quickly.
Now, thanks to the brave work of citizen journalists like Nick Shirley, Americans were able to see what actually happens in Minnesota outside these daycare centers. Now, according to this FBI official, he's saying that accountability and justice is not coming. Why? He says the FBI and the Department of Justice walk these investigations out. They actually might take years, literal years, like 5 years. And by that time, the executive branch of government shifts power, the pendulum swings, and the people are never held to account.
They're going to try and pin it on somebody and make it seem like a crime, like a very serious crime.
Pin it on somebody? Like,
pin it on one of those people who runs those daycares. Oh. They need somebody to take the fall.
Oh, okay.
And we're just gonna point somebody.
You know who that would be?
No idea.
But that's what they do, though. They just pick someone and be like, "This is our guy," and everyone else can go free.
That sometimes happens. Yeah, charging somebody for anything financial,
yeah,
for one person can take literally years. I've seen it. It can take years because you have to look at all the money, all the accounts, all the transactions, all the payments, everything. You have to look at everything.
Now, according to this FBI official, the plan isn't to dismantle the Minnesota daycare fraud, but to find a fall guy. He tells us the Bureau will pin it on somebody, not the entire network, not who's behind it, not the people moving the money, but one daycare operator. So this man in the FBI, Justin Devine, a teacher now turned FBI, has been in his role at the FBI since 2021. Remember, that's the year the
My bad, guys. My bad. Had to knock something out real quick. But gaming, you was pretty much talking about how rich people pretty much don't get charged the same as poor people.
Yeah, they don't get charged the same as
they don't get charged. They have a longer presumption of innocence. When they are convicted, they're given priority for appeals. When their appeals are exhausted, they're also giving way laxer sentences, and usually those sentences deal in pretty much cush situations. Like if you and I were to go do any number of things. If you and I were Jeffrey Epstein, they would have executed us. If you and I were Hunter Biden, we would be in prison. If you and I were Joe Biden, we'd be in prison. If you and I were Donald Trump, folks, we'd be in prison. So
no, I don't know about the Donald. Well, no, you're right, Donald Trump, yes, but you're right. If it's just me and you, and like we're just not these special individuals, no relation to no rich people or no high power position, then yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I mean, and I'm not talking about the status comes with the money.
Not
Like
really.
you're
Remember, there's
absolutely
millionaires
it does.
that you do not know. Come on now. There's people that are millionaires that you don't even know, like millions.
Yeah,
of
but
people
they're not out there in the public's eye committing crimes. They're back
so
there.
there you go. That means that the money doesn't come with status. Like it depends on how you got your money.
If they were put into if they were charged with a crime, they would absolutely be thrust into the public light. Absolutely, they would.
There's been millionaires charged all the time that we didn't even know until later on. Like, bro, millionaires going through fraud
but
cases right now.
Don't you? The fact that you're stating that claim. Do you know everybody that's been charged? Do you know everybody that's been charged with a gun crime? Do you know everybody that's been charged for drug trafficking? Do you know everybody that's been charged for all these? But let someone have a couple $1 million and their shit will be front page news and they will get treated differently. Even if you didn't know about them,
bro.
Even if you didn't know about them, even if you didn't know about them before.
Parents had money and they was able to get their story like pushed under. Usually when you got money, you're able to have your story, swept under the rug, not front page news.
Put it to you this way, the Duke lacrosse players, they had a little bit of money, enough money to go to Duke. Their story was pushed front page news on the screen every single day for 2.5 years until that woman recanted her story and said, oopsies, my bad, it didn't actually happen.
Yeah, in the era of Me Too, I mean, that's sure.
But that's the thing. That's the situation in which it didn't go badly because they were acquitted. But that is how it's done. And if you don't sit in the right groups, the opposite is true. They go after you more harshly than they would the public person. So there is a difference in class of citizen in the justice system. It's supposed to be supposed to be impartial and blind. It is not. And if you sit here and you tell me that the justice system is blind and doesn't care, I'm gonna have to call you a fool, man.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that. I'm telling you that somebody can get charged the same way a rich person get charged. If they don't have status and they got money, they can still get charged the same way. Now, because they have money, they're able to, I would say, move themselves through the legal system a bit better than somebody without money, but the charges are still there. It's just that they're able to, I'll be real with you, pay the way to a better sentence, or because they have a good lawyer.
That's what we're talking. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You're treated differently if you have money. They do one of two things. Either they say, you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back, or they go and try to make an example out of you to get press for it, to make themselves a name, and even then it's garbage.
Yeah, but I'm real with you. Every situation that I see that you're talking about, like that I can relate, that I can like give an example of, is usually because somebody had a high position. Now, for the red guys who had with no high position and just rich, they get treated like an average citizen.
Nobody that's rich doesn't have a high position set. With money.
No, yeah, they do actually. A lot of people that they're not noticeable, no high status to it. You just make good money. You can have $1 million. Like, think about it. Do you know the CEOs of every company? Like, would you be able to tell them off the street? But they're making millions.
Right, but those people, if they're ever charged with a crime, it will be front page news because it's people that want to have this rubbernecking syndrome.
Hold on now. You're not saying that. Hold on now. If there's no status to it, bro, and I'm gonna be real with you, 9 times out of 10, this gets swept under the rug. Like I said, there's plenty of CEOs that you don't even know that has been charged for crimes, and they got treated just like a regular citizen.
Can you give me an example of one?
Status next to it. There was no fancy government position.
Can you give me an example of one CEO that we don't know about that's been charged with a crime, that it was just swept under the rug and there was no news reporting on it at all?
I'm pretty sure I can find you one, actually.
If you find me one, that means it was in the news.
No, well, actually, no. If I can find you one, no. If I could find you one, that means there was a CEO that you didn't know that got arrested. Easy, because they're rich. But your argument is, well, money comes with status, but it doesn't. You can get that means what you're saying is wrong.
Let's take it.
Wait. We're talking about in the context of the legal. Set, we're talking
No,
about in the context of the legal system. Money absolutely has status.
Nah, it's kind of who you are.
Set, and let me know.
It's
Let
who
me
you
let
are.
me let me let me cook you on this one.
Oh, don't
If
cook him.
what you're if
He's
what
already.
you're
Never mind.
if what wow, okay, we're getting racist.
I'm just kidding. He's already
Nah,
cooked. I'm just
he a
fucking
little
with you,
too
Set. Sorry.
he a little too dark. He look well done.
But
Anyway,
He's
But
shiny.
look, guys. The reason I'm saying you're not making sense is because there's been plenty of rich people who's gotten treated just like your average American that's in jail, and there
so
wasn't
name
here's the
one?
front page
problem.
news.
No,
And
Can
it's
you
here's
kind
name
of
one?
unfair, Monty, if you're telling me, oh, well, go find one. Then doesn't that kind of mean that in a way you're proving my point in a way? Because if I find one, then that proves that one that this guy you haven't heard about. And I'm pretty sure we can look through court documents of some high net worth individuals that didn't make front page news, and it's out there. It's definitely out there. You just can't say any person with money that goes to court is going to be front page news.
No, so what I'm saying, my overall point is there won't even be litigation in the first place.
Okay,
Let
now
me
you're
put it to
tripping.
you.
That too. There's
No,
that too.
no,
Why you
no.
tripping?
Think about
Because
Bill
of money
Clinton.
or with money and status. So like pick one.
No. It's
Money. Just
generally
money. You
because of-
only need money. Think about
So no
insurance companies.
litigation if you got money. You can make any crime you want as long as you got $1 million in your account. You're straight.
Epstein files.
You can-
is my Epstein
you can
files
settle
is my
it.
proof.
You
No,
can
bro.
settle.
Those
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
a good
over.
point. That's a
Those
good
guys are
point.
way
No,
over $1 million, and they're noticeable people.
Why are the
Bill
names
Gates.
redacted then?
Bill Gates is one of them.
Bill Gates is a noticeable person. He was the richest man in the world at a time. See, you can't take away the status argument.
I didn't say.
status
No, I
comes with
said
the
with.
money.
No status. You guys are
The
naming people with
status comes
You're
with the
proving my
money,
point.
Set.
No, I said. All right, you're confusing our two arguments. My argument was that in general, there is no justice served when it comes to people and their wealth. That's irrespective of status, irrespective of noticeable people. I'm talking about purely based off of net worth, and I can tell you this from a personal standpoint because I've rubbed elbows with rich people. So is my mom. Generally speaking, most people who have a certain net worth, I think of about 1.5 million and up, they have a lot more tools at their disposal to make sure that stuff will never see the light of day or will see the light of day way down the line, and they usually have cover stories for it. I said the Epstein files as a prime example is because Bill, irrespective, meaning regardless if they do or not.
No, it gotta be. I mean, that doesn't make sense then because the whole argument is status.
Tell me one person that has status that doesn't have money.
CEOs, business owners that own multiple. What was it like? What
That's
trucks
status
and all
and
that?
money set.
I'm sorry,
Status
but
and money. I'm saying, give me an example of somebody that has status, is known in the public light, and is constantly in the public light that doesn't have money.
They're making like at least $90K or below. That's average money,
bro. Y'all making my point for me then?
No.
The point I'm making is everybody with status has money, and everybody with money has status.
Everybody with status has money.
We're talking about significant status.
I mean,
like in the public
these Instagram models, bro. You see these Instagram guys? Like, not really.
What are you talking about?
No, not everybody with status has money. There's people who are famous that are broke.
Give me one example
that
of
are
somebody.
Broke.
Give me the name of somebody. Give me the name of somebody that I know that is broke.
Wasn't there like that? What was it? It was an actor that was found homeless on the street. I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat could know, but wasn't there there was an actor that was homeless?
A Nickelodeon actor that's not relevant and doesn't have status anymore?
But hold on now. Yeah, he did have status. People did notice him, but he was broke. So not everybody with status is rich. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people know that.
Hold up, Monty. I do want somebody. Yeah, I'm sorry, Set, but even the comments are agreeing with what we're saying. For example, there's this one commenter, DJ Good 803. When he made a comment in response to you don't know who the CEOs' names are and they just have status and money. FMC Butler, North Carolina, Alan Stafford, USP Terre Haute, Indiana, Raj.
Status. So wait, you're proving my point. Thank you.
No, they all have money as well. The net
And
worth of these
status.
individuals.
And status. Like, bro, these are very
No,
like,
you're
bro,
proving my point.
status.
No, you're proving my point. I said
Bro, you're proving my
irrespective.
point, my man. I mean, y'all both can prove my point. So please continue.
No,
it's not proving your point. You're just ignoring the fact that these people all have status and all have money and are treated differently in our society.
Bro,
that is the point we're making.
Hold on. No. That was not your argument. Now y'all changed it.
That's been the argument. That's the whole argument.
They got status.
There's two classes
and I
of people.
You guys wrong on that. Now you guys are saying that if they got money and status, they can go through the law system. No shit.
No, I said, listen, I said to you, irrespective of money or status or not, the justice system does not, irrespective of status or not, meaning regardless if they have it or not, if you have a certain number in your bank account, justice favors you differently. That was the baseline of my whole argument. This is the third time I'm clarifying that point.
Yes. And I have the same point.
Justice looks at you differently.
Yes.
You're treated different in the justice system. You're given special access to...
No, your ability to fight in the justice system is differently. You're not handled different. You can still get the same charge as a poor man. You could just fight those charges.
Okay, what about Nancy Pelosi? She committed
in the status. And you're proving my point. That's status. That's like a house speaker. Are you serious, dude?
I said irrespective.
That doesn't matter. She has status. Bro, what are you talking about?
Find me a rich person that doesn't have status when it comes to crime.
Nah, you're not trying to concede. You're not trying to.
You don't want to concede.
No, not that I'm not trying to concede. You guys stop making sense after a certain point.
No, I said irrespective.
Irrespective. Bro, you're trying to tie it back to status and it doesn't matter.
We're just gonna move on because I'm trying to hear you guys out, but you're just not making sense. But all right,
we'll agree to disagree.
We'll agree to disagree.
Y'all just not
find me someone that has money that doesn't have status and has committed a crime that we don't know about.
That's his point.
All right, I got you. I'm pretty sure I can find somebody.
Okay, Set, me and you will agree to disagree.
All right, no problem. Agree to disagree. I got you on that.
The Epstein files fallout once again spreading across the Atlantic to the UK. Britain's former ambassador to the United States, Peter Mandelson, is resigning from the upper house of Parliament over his ties to the late sex offender.
Pause it.
Even more stunning.
Huh?
All right, I'm gonna tell you this, and oh my God. So in the Epstein files, the King of Bahrain was in there. His name is Khalid bin Salman. So check this out. When I was over there, I thought it was just like it was just like an urban legend or a myth. And like, cause some of the people will be like, our king is a pedophile anyway, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm thinking they joking. Cause you feel what I'm saying? Like you can't be throwing that stuff around without no proof. I owe so many people an apology. I owe so many people an apology over there because his name was in there.
Let's not forget to add the caveat of just because your name's in the Epstein file doesn't mean you're guilty of pedophilia for legal reasons, of course.
Oh, yeah, for legal reasons. But there's also the King of Saudi Arabia and obviously some people in Israel.
MBS.
There's also people of
I've seen the list. There's a whole lot of sultans in there. I was like, oh shit.
Their religion tells them it's okay. So
no, it doesn't.
And then check this out. There are some people in China and Japan and North and South Korea. It's like, I thought y'all hated each other. Like,
bro, they all go into the island together. Bro, it reminds me of Squid Games. You know the season finale of Squid Games where all the rich people are there with their masks on? That's what I imagine when I think of Epstein Island.
I'm gonna tell you some truth real quick. I've never not once watched a single episode of Squid Games.
That's your own problem.
I'm sorry, chat. I failed you.
Good show though. I ain't gonna lie. All right.
Now
we're done hopping on the Middle Eastern monarchies that are in the Epstein files.
Oh no, it's
one British.
It's
royal
far more
is
than
calling
that.
out another. Prince Edward did not directly mention his older brother Andrew, who has been stripped of his royal title over his Epstein ties, but listen to Edward's comments to CNN at a summit today.
I'm not sure this is the audience that is probably the least bit interested in that. So they all came here to listen to about education solving the future. But no, I think it's all really important always to remember the victims and who are the victims in all this.
Oh, shoot.
Andrew is facing more scrutiny after the latest document drop revealed this photo of him on the floor with an unidentified woman or girl. And the photographs at this point do not suggest any wrongdoing. Andrew has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, but obviously a lot of questions
come
raised
on,
here.
bro.
CNN royal correspondent Max Foster is with
Come
us now.
on.
Yo.
No, absolutely not.
What's up?
You roll it back 10 seconds and I'll tell you why what she said is wrong.
Or girl. And the photographs at this point do not suggest any wrongdoing.
Whoa.
Andrew has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, but obviously a lot of questions raised here. CNN royal correspondent Max Foster.
Hey, yo, bro, let that have been Trump next to a girl like
That's
that.
what
never
I'm saying,
said, oh, there ain't no wrongdoing seem to be done here.
Dude,
What? Woman, you'd have
that's
been
why I
in
was-
tears looking at this.
Bro, that's why I said, whoa. First of all, the royal family, they're known for they knocked their own daughter off, okay? Let's get that out the way. They killed, Princess Anna because she was better than
Diana.
Queen Elizabeth? Diana. They killed Princess Diana because she was better at being a queen than Princess Elizabeth, and she was butthurt and jealous. They knocked her off. They straight up stripped this man of his title, of his status and authority, and then they're pressuring through other entities for this man to go to the U.S. and face to answer questions. My guy, you were as guilty as 2 left feet on a freaking inbred.
What? What?
Guilty is 2 left feet on an inbred. It's like, whoa. Like, that was southern as hell.
I'm trying
That
to
statement made about as much sense as a witch's titty and a brass bra.
I'm trying to prevent myself from cussing, trying to get closer with the Lord. So
I appreciate
trying
that.
here. So, but yeah, bro, like, come on, dude. There was already speculation. Like, y'all remember back in 2021, 2022, when like the speculation on Andrews was making the rounds. Come on now. And then we get this photo, and his name appears at least 4 or 5 different times in the files.
I'm not tracking what your point is.
All right, I see. Wait.
Is with us now from London.
2 left feet on an
Max,
inbred.
give us the latest on the
stuck on
fallout
that.
where you are.
Well, we've got lots of reports about Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew's ex-wife, but they were living together for a very long time, and she had lots of relationships with Epstein as well, coming out through these files. So, for example, she's talking about not having £20,000 for rent. She was desperate to get a hold of that. So a very deep relationship there, much bigger than we thought. Here in the UK, the focus is much more on the former UK ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson.
Shit, lady. Whoa.
I urgently need
Sarah Ferguson money.
20,000
pounds?
20,000? Wow.
I mean, bro, I know that's wait. Now I'm almost sure. Isn't the British pound a little bit worth more than our dollar?
Yeah, it's roughly about that's $22,000 or $25,000 roughly.
For rent?
For rent, bro. I like how both of us had to marinate on that.
Oh God, I'm almost imagining the crib at a certain point. Like, oh man, this shit.
Bro, that's
nice.
$240,000 a year. That's $250,000 a year in rent.
Bro, you could have bought a crib. Like literally.
My God. And she's just asking for it like it's $20. It's like she's $20.
It is to her.
Man, maybe to Epstein too. Like, bruh.
Here in the UK, the focus is much more on the former UK ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, because that has really roller coasted today. Initially, we heard a statement from the Speaker of the House, who read out a statement effectively from Peter Mandelson, who's a member of the House of Lords. Let's just have a listen to that.
My Lords, given the public interest and for the convenience of the House, I've decided to inform the House that the Clerk of the Parliament has today received notification from Lord Mandelson